Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. And in this episode, I'll be taking a look very briefly about why I'm just getting more and more bullish on Pulsechain. Not just the token, but the ecosystem itself. One of the major reasons is that it looks like another huge influencer has come out of the woodworks in support of Hex. So this is part of a list of people that have become positive about Hex and Pulsechain and the Richard Hart ecosystem. So there's people that also are on the fence, neutral. And this is something that I covered in a video a while ago about the fact that we're going to need these influences to create this upward momentum. And it's going to be part of the expansion and the development of this ecosystem in this community. We really need numbers here. So it's about growing the network, just like Somi continuously talks about. And the evidence is there. Raul Pal talks about it. The evidence is there. So I'm seeing that. And the health of the ecosystem on Pulsechain is fantastic. I'm not going to say it's better than X, Y, or Z, but it's absolutely brilliant. So let's get into it. I want to just go over who this new influencer is in case you haven't seen it. So that Martini guy, I don't know if you know that Martini guy or not, but basically he was saying, I mean, look at this 110K. Call me crazy, but one day this thing might run up to $1. So this is his hex. So this is some hex that he has. So he's coming out, and I'll smash that like, and you know what? I'll even repost it. I had it ready, but I accidentally, here we go. 2,000 likes, and I double my hex holding. So if there's any hexicans on here or pulsicans, get on here, smash the like button. I'm pretty sure I quoted that. But anyway, these are the types of people we need in the ecosystem. These are the types of people that are starting to join Team Win. 500,000 followers. Now, this is on top of Hex never had a single ounce of positive breath from any major influencer, and it did a 10,000x. Now, I'm not saying Pulsechain is going to do a 10,000x, but what I am saying is we're seeing these influencers now starting to join Team Win. So we have Ivan on Tech, 500,000 followers. We have DIY Investing. I was going to say old mate, but his young mate, Donovan Jolly, very young, smart, intelligent man, very introspective. I love his self-reflection and the pivot of his perspective of realizing, hey, I was jealous of Richard Hart. That's why I was against him on YouTube, and that's why he never really supported his tokens. And he realized that, and he joined Team Win. BitBoy is going to start covering it a lot more. So another guy that's on Team Win. Now we've got that Martini guy. People who are neutral. You have Altcoin Daily. You've got Crypto Banter. So these guys who never said anything positive about Hex are on the fence, at least with Pulsechain. So this is about the Richard Hart ecosystem. Then Richard Hart in a stream himself said that there was influencers who he knows who have actually bought bags of Pulsechain. And I think Crypto Banter is one of them. And I think Carl the Moon is another one. And that German fella. German fella who he's got like a million followers, and he had like this epic, I forgot his name. Something to do with Bitcoin. And he just get on his phone and like, what's up, guys? Anyway, that dude as well. So my apologies to him. He won't watch this anyway. So, but he knows, people know what I'm talking about, that dude. So there's people who are involved with and interested in Pulsechain where there was none of that for Hex. So what does that actually mean in the long run? So in addition to all the other elements that I've been covering about why I think Pulsechain is extremely bullish, in the end, what it means is when we get to this area, so this is a market psychology chart, and I've created my own market psychology chart based on the spectrum of people. So your indigos so these are the buyers, and the red is, so the indigos are like the smart buyers, and the spectrum, it goes to the red, who is the bad buyers. So smart money's buying down here in the depression. Then we're entering into this phase now. We're entering into this phase. Hope. We haven't really entered into this phase yet. After the halvening, we're going to enter into this phase. And this is where waves of money are going to start to come into Pulsechain. At the moment, it's really just our boy Dickie who's pumping the boys' bags. After that, A new wave of money is going to come into here. And then as we start to get to the last few months of the bull run, this is when all these people, this is when those big channels with millions, so combined millions of followers are going to start talking about their bags that are pumped, their bags that are up 10x, 20x. They're going to be starting to shill the crap out of their bags. And then that's when the inflow of these people actually starts to come in right towards the end, and it's going to capitulate to the upside. So it's not something, honestly, that I want to see. I don't want to see people capitulate to the upside because they're going to get burnt. But it's like, from the perspective of the universe, things just happen in life, whether we like it or not. People die that we don't want to die. People, just bad things happen to people. And I'm not saying I wish for bad things to happen, but I'm not looking at it from the perspective of the individual person who's going to be suffering from this, because the individual person in my mind doesn't, from the perspective of the universe, doesn't actually exist. It's just a particle in the ocean of energy. And that particle in the ocean of energy is, unfortunately for that particle, they're gonna lose money. And for the people who are the early believers, the smart money, they're going to be enriched. This is not to say that they're going to be enriched, because the selling is a whole nother ball game. The selling is a whole nother skill to buying. And this is something that I'm actually still learning. Buying is actually really easy, but selling is hard, man. Like, selling is hard. I was buying Ethereum when it was below $100. That's the easy part. I was buying Hex when it was low, buying Pulsechain when it was way below sacrifice rate, PulseX. That is the easy part. The hard part is the selling. The hard part is taking control of your greed and not letting it dominate you. So now let's get back into this Pulsechain. So the influences are coming. So what does this actually represent? It's just compounding energy. So this is the Metcalfe's law that Raoul Pal, this is the Metcalfe's law that Somi talks about. This is what it actually means. So it's the added energy into the ecosystem. Then the ecosystem itself. So I've been analyzing this for quite some time as a point of interest. Pulsechain, it's chilling. It's chilling. It had this massive pump. Now it's chilling. It's going sideways. So this is what I thought it would do. And I mean, it might end up having a period of sideways for at least a month or two, like what happened here. And I would suspect that to be the case. What are we in now? February? Yeah, I would really suspect that to be the case. So 20th of January, if we push sideways for another one or two months, we're heading towards that halvening, which is heading towards the pump, which is heading towards the real juice of the bull market. So it's chilling sideways, which is great. This is what we want. Well, it's not necessarily what we want. Of course, we want it to just keep going up and up and up and up and up. But I'm not deterred by the fact that it's not going up and up and up and up and up. I can still keep accumulating here. People can still keep accumulating here until we actually start to get into this stage. We're really just here. So let's be happy with where we are. Let's be grateful. We haven't really entered that full bull market. Keep accumulating. But what's actually happening within the ecosystem is magic. So just as one example, Hex equals MC squared. If you don't follow Hex equals MC squared at CHRSCO111, man, Chris is amazing. I've learned so much from Chris's observation of volume. So let's have a look at this. PDAI, the last run up on PDAI came with the largest spike on the first move, then the lower volume for the big move. PLS dropping in price is one reason for second pump so large. This is something that I've been saying as well, the inverse relationship. So these pumps, so this is when the whole ATROPA ecosystem really pumped a lot, because that money was flowing, the liquidity was flowing out of Pulsechain into PDAI, into the ATROPA ecosystem. And that's what Chris is saying here as well. On this first current move, the volume has picked up, but no spike. So we might possibly see the volume start to pick up on the next move, even while Pulse is going up. This is something that I'm speculating as well. It's just a 4x to the all-time high versus PLS. So this is PDAI to PLS at PLS, not in USD. So in USD, and I'll be sharing this in just a minute as well, it tells a different story. It's mind-boggling to think that if the ratios stay the same, when PDAI hits $1 and ATROPA at $40, ATROPA will be at $40. If the ratios stay the same, I'm not sure the ratios are that at the moment. BTC. I'm not sure about the ratios about this either. Somebody was mentioning something about this, but can I get to that? Who knows? And then where the hell will BFF be? Does no other blockchain see this? Ben Armstrong really is stepping in poop right now and probably doesn't even realize it. Not financial advice. So it tells an even better story when you do the linear chart. When you do logarithmic. It looks a long way away, but in logarithmic, it's not. So this is in the USD. I want to just show the USD. So again, starting to have an uptick. So I made a video the other day on some opportunities. We had these pullbacks. They might be the biggest pullbacks we get. I'm of the opinion, not financial advice, that we still haven't seen the top of the ATROPA ecosystem in this next wave of pump. What I'm saying is determining this next wave of pump is this pump of Pulsechain now. And the more that Pulsechain goes sideways, the more that is going to flow into the ATROPA ecosystem. That is my thesis. So I do believe this could be the extent of the drop. And now we're going to start breaking these all-time highs once again. If we look at it in comparison to Pulsechain, it's still, I mean, it's at a key level. It's actually a really good buy. If it breaks out of this zone, it's a confirmation of this being an incredible buy. So what is it here? Approximately 4x to the all-time high. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring Chris up as well, especially, is because Chris taught me this. And people in my comment section, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for all the comments on my last teddy bear video. But when I was taking a look at this, I was having a look at this. By the way, just to double emphasize this. So this is what I'm talking about. This spectrum here. This is on the macro scale, and this is on the micro scale. It's that same phenomena right here, that exact same phenomena with the increase in volume. So this is when that Martini guy's bag is 20x, Ivan on Tech's bag's 20x. Ivan on Tech's not talking about it too much because the results haven't come. Results speak louder than anything. So when those results come, he's going to be talking about it. And he's going to be, and everybody's going to be listening, and they're going to be buying. They're going to be buying these tops. They're going to be buying the market top. So this says everything. This is the micro. This is the macro. It's the same thing. It's Fibonacci, man. Like Fibonacci sequence. It's mathematics. It's science. It's physics. It's all just what you see in the micro scale happens on the macro scale. Except, well, I mean, quantum mechanics and theory of relativity haven't united yet, but there will be some sort of unity there, but they probably just haven't figured it out yet. Personally, I believe it's that gravity actually doesn't exist, but that's going down a rabbit hole that is not necessary for now. So when I was looking at these candles, wow, this is fascinating. It looks like something big is going to happen. And I want to just say, this is not something that's like, oh, I'm this genius guy and I've got this amazing thing. Man, thank you to Chris. Chris has taught me this. So thank you, Chris. Hex equals MC squared. This is what I love about this community. I am just ears to the ground, listening, seeing, heart open, mind wide open, and just seeing what flows into my life. And then, whatever makes me feel a certain way, then I follow that. If it has like a positive feeling, I'll follow it. If it has a negative feeling, I'll assess where that negative feeling is coming from, because that negative feeling can also be deceptive. It might not necessarily be negative in like in the sense of I just got to reject it. There might be something there as well. So I'm super in tune with my feelings in that way. So I'm a little bit feminine in that perspective, as a matter of fact, and I don't really care. So that's kind of what makes me good at architecture. So, okay. So I was having a look at these candles because Chris has taught me, something is about to happen. And then we had this pump. So it broke through the all-time high, only on the USD Valley, but still, hell yeah, teddy bear broke all-time high. And that video was like explosion question mark. And then bang, pop, had this explosion, broke through all-time high, another candle to confirm through it. So congratulations to all the teddy holders. If you're flipping with stable coins, amazing. And thank you to everybody in the comments who was like, hey, Stephen, you were right. But man, I'm not taking any credit for that. I appreciate your love. I appreciate the feedback, but that's all Chris, man. If you guys want to learn, Hex equals MC squared. My boy, Hex equals MC squared with his top hat and his bear. So these are the kinds of guys, man. Very underground. Look at his 333 followers. Not many followers. Hex is financial energy squared. And I mean, Hex, yeah. not very many followers, but these types of guys who are like the consciousness of the ecosystem that's so clever, and the diversity of the influencers as well. I was listening to who was it today? Crypto Banter and RG3, and it was such a good stream. And these guys were talking about the battle that we're going to have, and how they're these leaders. And I'm looking at those guys like leaders, that they really are, and they're both like similar in they're both similar in nature, but also completely different. Like Crypto Heartbeat is this like handsome, glasses, nice sleek back hair, and like very sharp and clean cut. And then RG3, also handsome, but different, very different, like more rugged, more raw, like raspy voice, completely different, but also like similar minds in their perspective on authority, in their perspective on who Richard Hart is, in their perspective of this ecosystem. They're giving the same message, but that same message is going to hit different people in a different way. It's marketing 101. In marketing, you have like your client avatars, and you're essentially saying the same thing to every single person, but you're delivering that message specifically to that client avatar, and you're delivering that same message to that client avatar. So let's say we're talking about Pulsechain. Pulsechain is going to be the best blockchain, but person B, who is middle-aged, clean cut, looking after his family and his kids, doesn't want to take high risk. Pulsechain and the right kinds of words is going to hit his mind, and then his mind will connect with the message. And then RG3, his message is going to connect with that more rugged and raw. And he talks about being in gangs and from the street and being homeless. It's the same message. It's marketing 101. And the power, we got over 100 influencers. Like the people are there. The people are there saying the same thing, and it's going to hit different ears in different ways, and they're all going to get attracted to the ecosystem. I'm more and more convinced. When I heard Pulsechain is going to be the #1 blockchain, I was like, man, this is a bunch of BS. Like I'm like, you guys are on crack. This is a bunch of hopium. But I cannot deny this evidence that I'm seeing continue to compound, that we actually literally could be one of the #1 blockchains on the planet. Not saying it's going to be within this cycle, but the evidence just keeps mounting in my mind, man. Like Solana was down again the other day. It's like, and what's on Solana? Just pump and dumps, man. And you got these big influencers who they love Solana. They won't say a good thing about Pulsechain or Hex, but they love Solana. And it's just pump and dumps. VC pump and dumps. And it's all there. It's all on the blockchain. If it's up, that you can actually see it. So this is the thing, man. Like, these guys are starting to turn now. People are starting to turn. They're starting to wake up and see. So the key point is, the Pulsechain itself is looking so healthy, and then the ecosystem. So we've got these tokens with these kinds of charts, man. Look at these charts. So I'm going to go on this on Pulsechain. Look at these charts, man. These are not pump and dumps. These are healthy charts. This is looking like it's ready for a takeoff. So Teddy Bear is looking like it's ready for a takeoff. It created a new forever floor based on the ATROPA ecosystem. The ATROPA ecosystem, that's spectacular. It's gorgeous. It's another look at it. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. It's freaking gorgeous. And hey, it's bloody, like, it's 2 cents. It's nothing, man. It's so cheap. It's so cheap. And there's people talking about it going to $40. $40. Yes, that's hopium talk, but obviously this whole narrative with PDAI, if PDAI gets to $1, they're saying that ATROPA is going to be 40. And where's PDAI at the moment? Where's PDAI at the moment? 0.2 cents. So the ratio at the moment is essentially 1 to 10. So even if it stays at this ratio, it's going to be $10 when this gets to $1. That's pretty damn good, man. So this also is another thing that's creating forever floors, just like Teddy Bear. Look at the delightfulness of these charts. Absolutely. Mama's home cooking. This is like my mum's lasagna or kora, the kora that she would make. And the smell comes through. It's just delicious. And you got to have it, and you get fat just eating all this kora. This is what it is, man. I'm looking at this going, this is delicious. It's a work of art, and it's bloody delicious. Same as this ATROPA chart. Absolutely delicious. Same as DAI. PDAI, absolutely delicious. This is a bloody fork of a stable coin. Look at it. It's delicious. Then outside of the ATROPA ecosystem, so we have this consciousness. So these are like the core things here. We're all kind of following the same thing. We're all kind of switching our mind to this. Then look at HOA. Look at this chart. I mean, it's another gorgeous work of art. This one's not Kura. This is this is mum's, I don't know, upside down orange cake. Absolutely delicious. It's a phenomenal chart. It's not a pump and dump. You would expect after seeing this for it to go, but do you know why it's not? Because of the consciousness of the people who created it. People like Too Spooky and Orange Gooey, who I don't necessarily vibe with Orange Gooey. And I'm sure he's got a kind of character persona that he's kind of playing up on the internet. And, you know, when you get people who follow you, you kind of like, you know, like the kid in high school who's like, you know, when they're like the class clown and they feed off that energy. That's what I see with Orange Gooey. That's what I see. He's just like feeding off the energy of like people who like adore him, and he's just being a dick. And, you know, people are adoring him for it. I don't think it's necessarily good behavior. But, you know, so what? He's apparently like a super smart dude. Can't question that. He's created this. He's extremely intelligent. I'll respect that. I don't necessarily like respect his treatment of other human beings. I think it's quite deplorable, actually. But I think also his intention potentially is righteous. So he thinks he's doing the right thing. In any case, the whole point is the consciousness of the chain is creating these different ecosystems that are creating all of these same charts. They hate each other. Tangang hates the ATROPA ecosystem. I don't think the ATROPA ecosystem necessarily hates Tangang. That's not what I've seen from being within the ATROPA ecosystem, but I know the Tangang craps all over the ATROPA ecosystem, but I also know that there's a mix as well. But they've come from two different perspectives and they're producing two of exactly the same kinds of charts. That's magic, man. That's magic. Can you see that on any other chain in a bear market? Have you seen it? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anything else do this. I've seen everything do this. And then maybe when the bull market starts, it's going to go up like this. I haven't seen it go like this. That is a work of art, man. And then Richard's only brother. Look at this as well, man. Shane Hart Schuler doing the same, producing the goods. He's studied his brother. He's looked at his brother and he's like, how can I improve on my brother's model? Or can I improve on my brother's model? Who knows? But look at this chart, man. Again, it's just another delicious upward momentum chart. Look at this. It's just going up, man. Like, I'm not seeing this on other chains. And look at the X's. I mean, look at the X's on this. I mean, this is just from this candle. That's a 53X, but if I go to the actual candles, I mean, you've got one of these little scam liquidity created things, and it's like, I mean, honestly, I don't really, yeah, I kind of don't really count this type of a candle as anything. I mean, that's like a, you know, it's a 350X in one candle. I don't really count that kind of candle, but I mean, yeah, you got to count that candle, and it's done. I mean, it's almost done 1,000,000X. Shane Hart Schuler, if he gets to 1,000,000X, I mean, if I actually do this properly, Shane Hart, the founder of Rob, the father of dragons, the brother of Richard Hart, who has the world's largest diamond, who did the world's biggest airdrop, has a Red Bull can size PP. That's who this guy's related to. Look what he's created. So this guy's creating on our chain. There's no feud with the brother where he's gone off and done his own blockchain. He's created within the blockchain. Look what he's done. That's nearly 1,000,000X. That's nearly 1,000,000X. Shane Hart Schuler. This is what's happening on Pulsechain. And that's just some examples. And that only has a 665K market cap. And this is only just me covering the things that I'm looking at. There's plenty of other, PTGC, that's another one. I could bring up that chart. That's another one. All these charts on Pulsechain. So you got this huge wave, this huge potential energy. So it's like a tsunami, The earthquake has happened now. The earthquake is like all these influences are starting to come, but the tsunami hasn't hit our shores yet. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. That bull market is coming with all that energy, the tsunami, all that money, all that liquidity, all that economic power, all that energy. And then what's actually happening on the chain, which is going to even bring more eyeballs into the chain, that there's all these tokens within the ecosystem that are so successful. Those people who are coming to the chain, this is my hope, those people who are coming to the chain, they're going to come based on the basics, the Richard Hart ecosystem tokens, Pulsechain, Hex, PulseX, INC. They're going to come for that. That's what they're going to see. Once they come to the city, they're going to see all the bright lights, the strip clubs, the nightclubs. Oh, I'm going to go to Illusions on. I'm going to go to Illusions on. Oh, in Patong. What is it? Bloody Bangla Road. Maybe one day with my boy Zach, going to Illusions and Bangla Road. You know, I want to go to Illusions. I'm going to go pick up a tranny. Is this a guy? Is this a girl? Who knows? Is this a good coin? Is it a bad coin? Those are the things that they're going to start seeing. All the things in the city. This city is an excellent city. And like I said, all the people that are already in our ecosystem promoting it, connecting with different people, the wave of new influencers, all the ecosystem of tokens that are actually happening here. Then on top of that, Richard Hart, outrage marketing, it worked. He's fighting the SEC. This whole battle with the SEC is going to be huge, man. It's going to be huge. If nothing, it's going to keep bringing eyeballs. And if it keeps pumping while he's fighting, it's just like eyeballs to the chain. And I'm pretty sure like the last pump basically was triggered around the time where it was some significant thing with the SEC. So, you know, it's just like it's just utilizing the power of that market, that marketing, that negative sentiment marketing, and creating like a positive effect out of it. And this is the consciousness of the founder of this chain. And that consciousness is disseminated into the people who love this chain. And that consciousness is further disseminating out into the people that we're attracting into this chain. I really do think Pulsechain could be one of the number one blockchains. I don't want to say the number one because it really like, oh, you said it's the number one. The evidence is stacking up, man. How can you deny things like this? How are you, if you've gone and put all your money in bonk and you bought that top and it comes down and it never goes there again, and then you see something like this and you're like, wow, there's all these new tokens that keep getting created that have these charts that go like this. All those people that got hurt, there's a home here for you in Pulsechain. We're welcoming here. We've got plenty of things for you to do here, and we love and embrace you. And we are here for the betterment of humanity. We're not here just to extract liquidity out of each other. We're here to create a new financial system. This is real DeFi. That's what's happening on Pulsechain. That's why Pulsechain, in my opinion, is going to be the number one blockchain. Could be the number one blockchain. Oh, who knows? Thank you very much.